Hey everyone, as requested, I'm gonna be reviewing a video called I Slept with 100 Men in One Day.
I'm Lily Collette, and today I'm getting ran through by 100 guys.
I'm sure that your parents would be proud.
All of adult entertainment is a billion-dollar business.
The adult entertainment industry is owned by some people.
I'm over Hugger. How are you?
Nice to meet you. Is it a shoes off house? A shoes on
No,
house?
shoes on. Honestly, I've got a dog bite. It's a total mess. Do you want a glass of water?
I would love a glass of water.
Lovely British water.
Could I have a tea? As a word, like, is that the right terminology? I'm a YouTuber.
The British with their tea. No wonder his face never developed. He probably drank it his whole life with some beans and toast.
So I'm a bit red-faced and new to this world, but what is it
People call me anything. Star, escort, OnlyFans girl, anything really. I don't really care. It's not like bothers to me. You know, I don't drink tea.
Yeah, oh, really?
You maybe don't care about what they call you, but you do generally care a lot about what people think about you, because you need a lot of attention from people. That's why you are doing this. No sane human being on earth would actually ever have such an idea. Only somebody who went through some kind of very severe trauma, who was hurt in some way, maybe by a guy, who the hell knows, I don't even want to really speculate, would end up thinking, maybe I'll just sleep with 100 guys in one day. And then document that on top of that. And you only do that for attention.
No, so this is probably going to taste like shit because I don't really know how to make it, but just good for one thing, me, honestly.
Having been involved in the world of YouTube content creation for 10 years, I've witnessed some extreme measures taken in order to achieve online fame, as well as taking some extreme measures of my own. But none quite as extreme as the stunt I came across which inspired this documentary.
You may get some kind of so-called fame. You could become infamous for doing that. But it's not as if people are gonna look up to you or want to be like you. They will just say, hey, did you hear about that video of the girl sleeping with 100 guys in one day? Oh yeah, it's not as if they're gonna think, oh wow, that's awesome, I want to do that, or I want to be with a girl who did that, or anything even close to that.
Lily Phillips, a 23-year-old OnlyFans star living in London who describes herself as an English cunt, was planning on hosting an event where she would sleep with 100 of her fans in a single day.
How did you...
Okay, I gotta say, at least she sleeps with her own fans from OnlyFans, yeah? At least it's not some random guys. It is random guys technically, but what I mean is, at least those people who watch her on OnlyFans, which are losers anyway, get to actually sleep with her. Of course, it doesn't mean anything. She doesn't care about them, but at least it's not some random guys from the street.
You get into doing this for a career?
Well, I started when I was at university. Very, very tame stuff. Hand bras, underwear, things like that. Because I was at university and I was like, I'm being a anyway, could make a little bit of money.
What do you mean by you were being a anyway?
That was just being at university. Like, I was just sleeping around with everyone.
But I feel like I know of a lot of girls who have done that at university but then haven't gone on to become OnlyFans stars.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I just was like already very... not proud, like very just okay with doing that. Like I've just always had.
I could almost bet that she didn't have a father growing up. I wonder if that's true, but I would really bet on it. How can you end up like that if you actually have somebody who loves you, man in your life? If you grow up only with a mother, and you were never really taken care of, never loved, then you end up going outside. As a teenager, you get drunk, maybe even worse, and then you sleep around, and in the university also, as she said, because you're out of control, so to speak. But it's more so just about never being truly loved by your family, and then you end up looking for love somewhere else. But because it's not fulfilling, you end up thinking of something like this. Or even if a girl only does it in the university still.
Quite like a sexual nature.
Yeah.
I just thought I might just make like a couple £100, can get a few rounds of drinks in, stuff like that. Just helps me out a little bit while I'm at university.
Sure.
I love that she's British. She makes it even better, innit? A few quid, yeah, lovely.
I didn't think it would turn into like my whole career. But I think as soon as I started on the platform, I kind of realised, I guess, how much money you can make and also just how much I loved it. I was just like, why am I doing a whole degree? Last week I was like 23 guys all at once, and like some people would be like, you're insane, like I would have to be paid to do that. And I'm like, no, that's just fun to me.
Would you call yourself a businesswoman?
I don't know about that. People would give me a bit of stick if I said I was a businesswoman, but I guess definitely business-minded.
I would call you a businesswoman.
Thanks. A lot more people would use the word just...
How does that make you feel?
Oh, I literally, I've never really cared what people think. It doesn't really bother me. I have such a supportive like family and friends.
It's possible that it doesn't bother her. That may be true. But as I said, she for sure thinks and cares a lot about what people think about her, or just the attention that she really wants from people. That's what her life is revolving around. And that's not how it should be. Your life should not be based on what people will think about you, or what kind of attention they will give you, how much attention you're going to get from others.
Friends, and what they think about me is so much more important than what strangers think about me. I do feel a little bit like embarrassed being like, Mum and Dad, I'm 100 guys.
Why?
I guess because it's not really what my parents would have wanted me to do. Doesn't mean to say my parents are like going to disown.
Okay, there is a mom and a dad, or maybe they broke up. Maybe not. It doesn't have to be like that.
Me or hate me or anything like that. I just don't want them to think less of me, you know?
Yeah, but then why do you do it? A good rule for life is to never do something that you would be embarrassed of, that you wouldn't tell your parents about. Simply think about what you do in life and think, could I tell my parents about it? Okay, it's not that black and white, and the way parents are today is not really the way it would be naturally. But if you have a somewhat natural relationship with your parents, a close bond, then you should be able to tell them everything. And if you do something that you know is wrong, so to speak, then you probably also won't be able to tell your parents about it. It's just a good way to think about it. Keep this in mind in your life when you do something.
Like we can still be like very close and stuff like that, but I just don't think they need to know. Like,
yeah, but then you're not close at all because you're keeping these secrets from them.
Exactly every single detail.
But they'll find out, right?
Yeah, probably, yeah. This is the thing, I think, with like my like career and stuff like that. We're not sat here talking about, oh, I filmed this with today, or, you know, I filmed this, because there's just no need. I remember my dad saying, like, my friends talked about you, like seeing you on or something like that. And they know, but like there's just no point in being like, oh, you know, I'm doing this or doing that.
Yeah. Are there days where you second guess it ever?
Not particularly. There are days where I'm sat here on a Sunday, I am feeling a little bit more lonely. My friends have all got boyfriends, and I'm like, you know, I see a comment and people are like, God, no one's ever going to marry you or something like that.
That's possible, although her really hardcore fans would marry her. And a lot of guys who are below average looking, maybe even average, maybe even slightly above average nowadays, because men are desperate. But good looking, tall guys, if they know what she did, they wouldn't marry her or even be together with her at all. But somebody who isn't high value, so to speak, who doesn't really also think much of themselves, who's insecure, would go with her, yeah, for sure.
And that can definitely like make me feel a little bit like, oh God, have I chose the wrong career? But like, I just totally love my job. But just like people talking about your body constantly, how you look, every day someone like picking at you, I think that's the hard part. And also just the pure fact that people think so much less of you. Yeah. Before anyone ever meets you, they already perceive you to be something. I think now I'd find it hard to make friends in terms of like real friends that really just see me for who I am and not like, gosh, like pop star online, whatever.
It is part of who you are, or what you do anyway.
How are we looking?
She has a dog. Oh my god. Even if she would have children, which I really wouldn't recommend, there's just no way that she would actually be able to take care of them, to love them, because there's something wrong with her also. And she would probably end up leaving the guy that she's together with, or the other way around, whatever, and the child would grow up without parents, or at least actual two parents, only the mother or father, who the hell knows. Yeah, it's good if she doesn't have children. There's no point. It's better to just stick with dogs and cats for people like her.
We're 1 week away.
I think we've got about 50% of them confirmed.
And then you're checking that they've done an STI test?
Yeah, so prioritising guys who have STI tests. They have to screenshot the results kind of thing. But this is the thing with it, like you can never 100% know if they've had an STI test. And even if they had, they could have slept with 10 girls in between.
Yeah.
It's also interesting that at least I've never heard of pretty girls, or whatever, let's just say generally attractive girls, doing this kind of stuff. Not what she's doing here, because that's unheard of, but generally OnlyFans, corn, and all of that. As far as I know, it's almost always average looking girls, sometimes kind of like her. She's kind of just whatever, kind of below average or average looking, just kind of whatever. And that's all that you ever see, right? Sure, there's some exceptions. Sure, there's some pretty girl probably out there. But to actually go this far, that's interesting. Because they always feel like they don't have much self-worth. They're really insecure, traumatized, and whatever. It's just probably a combination of everything. And it's all linked together anyway. Yeah. And they just need this validation and attention from people.
Test and things like that. It's more just like, you know what you're getting involved in if you're willing to participate.
Are you going to kiss any of the guys?
Definitely. I feel like some of them would be a bit put off, especially when they now just had like 57 guys.
Yeah, but the guys who subscribe to OnlyFans, I really don't think that they will care. Like I said, they would probably marry her. And that's how desperate they are. This will be maybe the day of their lives. I wouldn't even be surprised if some of them will lose their virginity to her. I mean, they wouldn't even care that there were just 80 other guys before them. Inside
me or whatever.
Why do you think that would put them off?
I think it's more if someone to my face. I can imagine that's what's put another guy off.
That could be off-putting, yeah. Oh my god, man, this is so insane.
You would let like these guys do that on your face?
Yeah.
And in your mouth?
Yeah.
What if they had HIV?
Is that where it comes from? With spunk in the mouth?
It can.
Oh really? See, I've never really thought about that. Last time when I did it, all of them could in their mouths. I can't really explain it. I get like serotonin, like from when people are like, oh my god, you're that on the internet. Sounds crazy.
I know you're saying that to me right here. I don't believe that.
Really?
No.
I kind of love like ruffling feathers a little bit and people getting me like agitated by maybe the fact that I'm myself. People think I'm like so sad and stuff like that, but that could not be like further from the truth. I don't think people realise like how happy this makes me.
I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. She doesn't seem like she's unhappy necessarily. I also wouldn't say that she seems happy. Maybe she even somewhat enjoys it. The act in itself is of course enjoyable, but when you have this need to sleep with that many guys, when it's so unfulfilling and you need more and more, it's pretty strange. I will be curious to read your comments about this.
I can't really put it into words.
Have you done anything to make sure there's not someone with a criminal record, for example, coming down?
We actually have not, no.
What does it matter? tons of people have criminal records today just for stealing, whatever, shoplifting. What difference does it make? I mean, all of them still reproduce.
You feel safe?
Yeah. I mean, pretty sure I could take on some 50-year-old guy. No, I think it'll be fine. I'd like to think that guys on there, I don't know what they would do anyway.
It is London, like you've put out a public call, so technically anyone could come down as long as they were over the age of 18.
Yeah.
The first man arrived.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's a bit early.
I'm Josh, by the way.
Oh,
Hey, nice to meet you.
I never really think about things before I do them, so I've just kind of do them and then think, oh, was that okay? But yeah.
We received a text from Lily's team asking us to not draw attention to the rented Airbnb where the stunt was set to take place.
She's asked us to not be around the property so we don't draw attention to it.
So I asked lucky participant number 1 if he wanted to go for a stroll while we waited for Team Lily to arrive. So you're obviously a subscriber of Lily's on OnlyFans?
I'm gonna be honest with you, it was only what you said.
So you got a text, but they sent the address quite late, didn't they?
Yeah, just this morning. Funny, like in the text it was like, if you have any friends who'd like to take part, I was like, oh, it's one of my motivations for coming here.
Yeah.
Like, is it gonna have,
Yes.
am I gonna get mugged? It's on the Circle Line.
Yeah.
I go to V&A after.
Finally, Lily arrived.
Hello. Lucky number 1.
An hour behind schedule with a security guard on the door, we were allowed inside.
Nice to meet you.
Hello. How you doing? Fair enough.
Everyone at Nathan now. Let's get going.
It's a lovely house, I like that.
Lovely modern British people. Oh my god, man. These people are so sick.
Big mirror.
Yeah.
I don't know where to put myself. I feel like just float. Everyone's just floating a bit.
Everyone gets a performance day that gets on the couch so we can...
The atmosphere inside was nervous and very strange.
Lots of bananas.
No one, including Lily's team of assistants, seemed to have much of a plan in place for the day.
I don't know what's going on. No, there's a lot of forms this time. The admin side of things is crazy.
Having had their IDs checked and release forms signed in order to allow publication on OnlyFans, 6 men sat anxiously on a sofa, waiting for their turn to have sex with Lily. Meanwhile, it seemed the reality of what
It would be interesting to see their faces. That would actually tell us a lot, but I think that we can already imagine how they look like.
Lily was undertaking was starting to become slightly more real.
Hello.
Hello, how are you feeling?
Nervous. No, excited. It's nice to actually meet the boys because it puts you at ease a bit.
This is crazy. I'm nervous. Is it
You're not okay.
How are you feeling?
No, I'm not nervous.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Just putting a baby monitor in here so I can keep an eye
that's
on
smart.
you.
Have you had like an energy drink?
Yeah, I had a squash pastry in the car.
Okay.
And with your dog.
Lunch or anything? What do you think?
I think I'm gonna have a break. I think it gets to about 12 and have a little
Okay.
breeze.
Yeah, that's good. Are the clients going to shower? Or
No.
That just comes straight. And the condoms?
Yeah, they're in my bag. I've bought like 200 of them.
Yeah, that's good. Just in case of my break.
Exactly.
And like, do we think we're going to get to 100 today?
Yeah, I'm not leaving without it.
Oh, they're not even all from the UK, even from Switzerland, and who knows from where.
Oh, guys, we are running behind.
I'm excited just to get the first one in.
Yeah.
Like, you just like want it to start. It's like doing a race, like you just want it to start.
It's early in the morning to get.
Yeah, it is.
And 5 minutes each, right?
5 minutes each. Tries probably
5 minutes each. Oh, yeah, okay, 100 guys in one day. I'm not that good at math, but yeah, you would still have some hours left, though. Quite some hours.
I'll do a little bit less time. I think there's about 8 of them. Okay. That's I don't want to keep them waiting too long.
Fine. Yeah. Just all the best.
Thank you. Kill it.
Yeah, careful. Kill it. Lots of fluids.
Thank you.
Everyone not filming the guys. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Just as proceedings were about to commence, we were asked to leave. It was hard not to feel concerned for Lily as we left the house. She seemed more apprehensive about what she was doing than she had done over the past few weeks. Perhaps the reality of the situation was beginning to dawn on her. It certainly was for me. It was just weird. Like, that's all I can describe it as. It's just so weird. Like, Lily seemed a bit more nervous than she seemed throughout this, but still, like, kind of up for it. I just cannot believe, in the middle of this, like, super affluent suburb, this girl is about to just have a load of strangers, 100 strangers, in someone's Airbnb. One of the men participating agreed to speak with us after having spent his allotted 5 minutes with Lily. He had flown in from Switzerland just for this.
So I came last night and I'm leaving basically after. I went for the authentic experience.
Okay.
I had pie.
British pie,
yeah,
pie mash.
yeah.
How long have you known or been a fan of Lily Phillips?
Since the beginning, I would say.
Did you ever think you'd be able to have sex with her?
No, never.
And today you did?
Yes.
Were you nervous this morning going in there?
In a way, it's almost cool. It's completely meaningless and pointless, really, but I guess that they got to live out their fantasies, sort of. It's all absolute nonsense, don't get me wrong, but whatever. I guess it's just interesting because it probably almost never happens on OnlyFans, right? I've never been on the website, but I get what it's about, right? Girls showing off photos and videos of themselves and people pay them to see it, right? I guess that's what it is.
Yes, especially when I saw all the guys, the cute.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was definitely nervous.
Were you worried that maybe some of the other guys aren't going to get an STI check? Or?
A little bit, but also I think the risk for the guys is maybe less high than for her. And this has to be the most expensive shag ever.
Really?
Yeah.
How much?
200 to get tested, 250 for the flight, maybe 800.
£800 and worth it?
Yes, yes, without a doubt.
How are you doing? How's it going so far? How many are you on? Only 8.
Originally, we had been told we'd be allowed back to film with Lily while she had a break for lunch at 2 p.m. However, we received a text from her PA explaining that they were overrunning and they were going to have to skip lunch. Sorry, it's Chocker, and anytime she gets a break, it's for a quick shower and eat, and then back to working, so no time to be filming during her breaks. However, we were able to speak to another man as he left the Airbnb, although he seemed shaken by the experience. How are you feeling?
Why is he shaking like this? I thought that he's sick, but what?
It's not something I normally do, but it's nothing not much.
Yeah.
I think it's alright, I just thought fucking that's what to do.
Like, how long did you get with her?
She said 5 minutes, and then halfway through she said she hadn't started playing it, so she said like 5 minutes from now. She's all right.
So you got to like...
It was literally time.
Do you know how many guys have gone before you?
No idea. No idea.
Yeah, like, is that what...
Oh, yeah, but I don't really know. Yeah, I just thought...
Are you happy you did it?
A little bit, I'm just a bit nervous, if I need to find out. I'll go to keep it straight away.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, sorry, we've got so many people here right now, it's absolute mayhem. I've had like 100 cigarettes, I'm chain smoking through this.
Lily offered to show me the aftermath of their stunt.
She looked kind of red, like she was crying. Probably not, but maybe it's from the shampoo or whatever.
What does it smell like?
Like brace yourself. Brace yourself.
Oh, holy shit.
I guess you actually can. Is that real?
Yeah, he's not good with smells.
Lily then walked us through the process that she had repeated 100 times that day.
Come on in, make yourself at home, take your shoes off. I've got some hangers here if you want to put your coat up.
Nice.
Come on in, where you travel from, say, oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so nice to meet you. I'll get you on the bed, make yourself comfortable,
Yeah.
take off your trousers, and we're going to have a fun time. And I'll give them the phone camera, I'll just say, I'm guessing you don't want your face in it.
Yeah.
And if they don't, it'll be POV phone camera.
Yeah.
I'll start usually with a and then I'd say, like, is there anything you like, don't like, any certain position you want to do?
Yeah.
And then, yeah, we kind of got straight into it.
Did you do the condom on or?
No,
No,
I
condom
didn't. Condom off.
Okay, and then, but then like once they're having sex, it's like
Yeah,
condom on type
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
It does smell a lot like sex. I mean, and there's rose. That's nice. Did one of the guys? And how are you feeling?
Surprisingly, downstairs is not really sore.
Okay.
It's more just tired. My eyes sting like nothing else.
Why?
Because of all the cum in it. I think I repeatedly...
Oh yeah, okay. That actually makes sense. And because people are so unhealthy today, the juice is also pretty, I don't want to say toxic, but dirty, not clean.
He said, you can call my face, but not in my eye.
And they just went right at the eyes.
Well, I think like it might have been an accident. But no, I mean, I've definitely seen some spunk today, Jesus. And it just took definitely a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. I think it was when it was only like 40 and I was like, I'm not even halfway yet.
Yeah.
And 40 is still a lot of people. Like, imagine 40 people and be like, I'm not even halfway, like, done.
When was the last time you ate?
I had a yam yam. Yam yam, is that what they're called? A little pastry. And I think I had a sandwich, and that was kind of, and then the rest come. It's not for the weak, girls, if I'm honest. It was hard. I don't know if I'd recommend it.
Why not?
I think if you're a different type of girl, it's very like, It's kind of like being a pro in a sense of like, it's just a different feeling. I don't know how to explain it, like...
It's not like just having sex with someone.
Yeah. Just one in, one out, like it feels intense.
Like more intense than you thought it might.
Definitely.
Oh, I was gonna say she's about to cry, man. I don't even know what to say to this. It's just messed up.
Sorry.
Okay. Okay. Just take
Yeah, 1 minute. I think I was you know when I talked to you last, like I was not nervous, it was like the day before, I was like, oh, I'm so nervous. But it was good, it was more, I guess the interactions weren't like, I'd have to stop them early and like, you'd have to stand on business and be like, I'm so sorry, you got to go. And like the awkward interaction of like you feeling pressure to have to make them come if like you haven't spent enough time with them and feeling like they didn't, like you didn't give them a good time because like they only got 2 minutes.
And that's what's making you feel emotional, is that maybe you think you didn't give some guys a good enough time today?
Yeah, and it's hard, I think, having the interactions with them when they're like, what, you're not going to make me finish, I've come all this way, like kind of like guilt tripping me a little bit. I felt bad, like some people just travel so far, like I didn't want to give them a shit time and like come away from this and be like, oh, that was shit. I think sometimes like feeling so like robotic, like by I think like the 30th, you know, like when we're getting on a bit, I've got like a routine of like how we're going to do this. And like, it just, sometimes you'd like disassociate and be like,
oh my God, man. Basically, she's saying that it was traumatic for her, and really the way she's reacting to it now, it's clear. It's like a horror film, like a horror documentary. It really makes me feel really strange, really weird. It's really showing that there's just something really wrong with our society. Obviously, okay, yeah, that's needless to say, but it's just worse than you would think. And you wouldn't be crying after having a great experience. Well, you could. There are also tears of joy, but it's obviously not the case here because she looks very sad.
You know, like it's not like normal things at all. In my head right now, I can think of like 5, 6 guys, 10 guys that I remember, and that's it. But it's just, I don't know, it's just weird, isn't it? Like, if I didn't have the videos, I wouldn't have known I've done 100, you know? But yeah.
Wow, yeah. Dissociating, you were gone, basically. Oh my God, man. That's literally trauma. And you were already probably traumatized, that's why you did it. Oh my God, man. Oh my God, man. Horror movie, absolute horror. Wow. But one of the hardest videos I've had to watch.
I think that was kind of the hard part, is like conversing with them and like when they'd kind of be like, oh, like we've only had 2 minutes or 3 minutes and you said 5 on the message.
Did someone say that to you?
Yeah. And obviously it just makes me feel so bad.
Do you think you should feel bad about that?
I guess when you've promised something to people who support you, it's kind of hard to let them down.
But it's up to you, right? Like when you know.
Yeah.
Have you even processed, do you think, what's happened?
Not yet. God, I won't forget this day, Jesus.
When I decided to start making this documentary, I wasn't too sure of what to expect. I certainly didn't expect to see Lily so upset at the end of it all. I had thought perhaps in years to come she may look back at this day in sadness, but not so instantly afterwards. She had stressed to me throughout my time with her how excited she was for this challenge and how this was her fantasy, so to see her so visibly upset at the end of it all was really sad.
Maybe it was her fantasy because she thought that she could fill this void at the end. Because clearly, if you need this attention and validation, like I said, there's just something missing in your life, whatever it is. Maybe it wasn't that she didn't get enough love from her parents. Just because the father was there doesn't mean that she got enough love, of course, but it seemed like from what she said before that her parents are probably together and that she grew up with them. But of course she left for university and whatever.
But my confusion was only added to in the days following our filming with Lily, as she announced to her fans that in February of 2025, she would be sleeping with 1,000 men in a single day to break the world record.
Last week I did 101 guys. Now this was just the warm-up, because in February I'm going to be the first person ever to reach 4 digits of guys all in one day. Yes, one.
And then you can only just laugh. Oh my god. Yeah, well, what can you even say to that? It's just never going to be enough. Maybe she doesn't get it. She doesn't get that it's a never-ending cycle. 1,000 in one day? Many, as in groups, because otherwise it's impossible. So a group of guys, tons of groups of guys, probably like, what, 30, 40 at once?
1,000 guys.
Maybe what we witnessed that night was just someone overwhelmed with emotion after completing such a monumental challenge. Or
true, to be fair, that's also the case, but again, she doesn't look like this was a great experience.
Maybe we saw the true toll this career can have on a person.
Wow, this was possibly the most hardcore video that I've ever watched. That kind of got to me also at the end. That was worse than a lot of horror movies that I've seen, as in a more horrific. It must have been the pain that you could see in her eyes. And just this, you did what you supposedly wanted to. Of course, you really just want love. That's a different story, long topic, but that's why you do it. That's why you want this attention and validation. But you would expect to see some kind of joy, this fulfillment from it. Because if what you do in life would fulfill you, then you wouldn't need any more of that. In this case, it would be intimacy with men. Of course, that's not the case, which is why she needs more and more. That's why you do OnlyFans, that's why you do porn. It all comes from broken families. That's the core of it. Not necessarily always, again, it's not black and white, but oftentimes. And then, of course, if you would sleep with 100 men, then you would think, if this is what she actually needed, then it would be the ultimate fulfillment. But of course it isn't. That's how you get to the point, because you're just not fulfilled. And now she needs 1,000. If she actually does that, if they actually do a video about it, report about it, anybody, I'm gonna review that video also, most likely, maybe. Do I want to go through this again? At the end, it was also kind of funny. You just kind of have to see the humor in all of it. It's just like sad and funny at the same time. More sad though than anything. But that she just goes on and on. Sometimes when it's just too much, you just kind of have to laugh at it. Wow, as I said before, I would love to hear your comments about this. What do you think about it? What is up with her? Why is she doing this? Oh, okay guys, thanks for watching.